this is very cool. The music you're hearing right now, it was written by our next guest who has been working on a symphony for America's 250th birthday. Stephen Limbaugh is a composer and concert pianist, and he's been sharing sections of his opus online as he works, giving folks a chance to hear the piece take shape. So joining me now with more, Stephen Limbaugh. Thanks so much for being here with us. It's great having you. So first off,
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course. Tell us more about this symphony you're writing for America's 250th birthday. What inspired you to take on this project?
Well, look, I mean, we're talking about an incredibly momentous occasion, right? So, America has this incredible symphonic tradition. Composers like Aaron Copland, Leonard Bernstein. You even had Czech composers like Dvorak that came over and wrote the New World Symphony in a place like Spillville, Iowa. And you have film music like John Williams, and these things evoke the essence of America. It's different than what they were doing in Europe. Nobody gets confused whenever they hear the opening of Star Wars and think, oh, that sounds German. No, they think it's American. But for the last 50 years, with the exception of the film music guys, you haven't had a whole lot of composers that are doing things that would honor the country in the way it needs to be honored, especially for an occasion like this. Somebody's got to do it. I'm the guy.
Right, and you've been sharing your progress on X since you began the project last year, giving people little glimpses along the way. Let's actually play a clip from your latest post for our audience. So I noticed the images of Washington crossing the Delaware. Is that one of the moments you're trying to capture in this movement? And how do you translate moments like that and the American story itself into music?
Right. It's interesting because I didn't set out to make this a sequence of historical events. I set out I wanted to ponder the question, what is American? And through that meditation, ideas come to me. How that process happens, the composer is sort of like an antenna for inspiration that comes down from on high from God. And I thought that, okay, I'm going to come back to the theme and I'm going to play it with six horns, which is very heroic. That's automatic heroism right there with that sort of melody. And then I said, okay, I'm going to add the strings and woodwinds doing this rhythm thing. I'm going to add some sleigh bells too. And then I thought, sleigh bells, well, automatically that evokes like something like Christmas. People think of that, Christmas. Well, what is an incredible foundational event that happened on Christmas for American history? Washington crossing the Delaware. Well, I didn't set out to do this, but all of a sudden, the thing that had come to me just screamed this image. And so I threw it in the video just to say, after the fact, this was the kind of thing, this is the kind of imagery that it evoked. It's a funny thing, but that's kind of how my compositional process works throughout the work.
And music, of course, is such a powerful medium to tell stories, convey emotions, and preserve culture. When people hear this symphony in full, what do you hope they'll feel, and when and where will we be able to hear it?
Well, I'll tell you, if the audience is bored at any point, I failed. So, number one thing that for any artist of any discipline, please never be boring. And I think that's a problem with a lot of composers, contemporary composers, especially in the avant-garde. Their music is boring. It sounds monotonous. It's not particularly beautiful. Well, like I said at the outset with those composers, I want to ensconce myself in that tradition. And whenever people hear the music, I want their hearts to supply the drama. The drama doesn't happen from my brain and then the musicians on a stage. It happens in the hearts of the audience. So whatever it is that they're able to reflect on and be in a position to reflect, I've done my job as a composer at that point.
Well, Stephen Limbaugh, thank you so much for joining us. And to support Stephen and the recording of his America 250 Symphony, you can go to givesendgo.com/A250 Symphony.